Um, Hi everybody. I think today I will talk a bit more about the inner workings of my brain. I thought I'd choose a nice topic for us today, which is self-esteem. Why be that? Well, I guess low self-esteem is sort of very prevalent in a lot of kind of mental disorders, like, social anxiety, depression, eating disorders and stuff. And anyway, when I was going to the doctors about 2 years ago and talking about how I was feeling and whatever, he was saying that he was very worried about my low self-esteem. Take my Zoloft. Anyway, at the time I thought, low self-esteem, I think I have a high self-esteem because I'm thinking way too highly of myself because I'm such an idiot. I'd sometimes come to the conclusion that I was having grandiose thoughts all the time and whatnot, and how I was too up myself and whatever, but looking back on it, that's how bad I guess it was, that, like, idiot was a good thing. Like, I was way worse than that, like the worst person in the world basically. But yeah, so now I thought I'd talk about my views on it, but I guess we'll talk about what self-esteem and what other people think about it first. Anyway, I went to Wikipedia and did a search on self-esteem and read about it. Basically, self-esteem is the subjective appraisal of him or herself that's sort of intrinsically positive or negative to some sort of degree. Well, yeah, anyway, it's sort of got components to it which involve sort of self-relevant beliefs about themselves, such as I'm competent or I am incompetent, and there's the association with emotions such as pride or shame, and it can be shown in behaviour with caution or confidence, and also self-esteem can be specific, as in I'm a good writer or I'm a shit writer, I'm good at making videos, I am an asshole and bullshit at making videos, or they can be a general thing such as being a good person, thinking you're a good person, that is. So that's self-esteem. Now to talk about my self-esteem. You could ask me the question, so, nervous neuron, do you hate yourself? I have to think about that one for a bit. No, I don't hate myself, but I guess I think other people hate me, which is, I guess, the basis for my social anxiety. So I think helping my self-esteem would greatly help my social anxiety, or it might be the other way around. Anyway, we'll see. Even to superficial things like the way I look. I don't mind the way I look. Oh, it shivers when I say that because I instantly think other people are going, oh, disgusting, like how dare she say that about herself. So I basically think other people hate the way I look, and sometimes I'm sorry for the way I look, and do you want me to put a motherfucking paper bag over my head? Sorry for fucking living. As you can see, there's also a lot of anger involved, because what I tend to do is put thoughts in people's heads. What I'm doing is I'm sort of attributing my negative self-evaluation into other people. I'll give you a really good example of this. New guy at work a couple of weeks ago, and I saw him and I thought, pretty good looking, but then I instantly thought, oh, this fucker wouldn't even bat an eyelid at me. He probably, like, doesn't even give a fuck about me, and he'd rather be looking at some blonde bitch, slut, cunt, fuck you, bitch. And I get really angry about it when all he's said to me is hi, and I've decided that he's an idiot because of all of these things. And you know what's highly ironic? I'm asexual and I have absolutely no interest in having a relationship with anybody. But I'm still pissed off at them that I put these thoughts in their heads that they would immediately reject me without even talking to me. And yeah, I get really annoyed at myself for doing these things afterwards, because it's stupid and it can make me unnecessarily angry at other people who don't think this at all. The good thing, or bad thing maybe, depending on how you look at it, is I never like to argue with people. Mainly, I guess I have a bit of anxiety on arguments. I hate it. And I guess the reason being that is my parents argued and fought for a good 18 years while I was there, and then they finally decided to separate. And argument makes me really anxious, but of course I often sort of find people say some things I'd really like to argue with them about, but I shut up about it, and what I do is I argue with them in my mind. This person will probably have no idea about what's going on in my mind, and they don't get a say. What I argue with them in my mind is obviously I'm arguing with myself, not them, so it's basically redundant. It's stupid. I guess I'll give you an example of one of these at work. One of the guys I work with comes up to me and co-worker in the deli, and he's like, "Ha lol, I saw 2 emos. Emos are so funny, they slash their wrists and slash their legs. Ha ha." And what do? I join in and go, "Oh, emos is so funny, let's cut ourselves." But inside, it was a completely different story. In my mind, I imagined me leaning over the counter of the deli, grabbing him by the collar and going, "What the fuck did you just say? You think cutting yourself is fucking funny, do you now? Do you want to die, bitch? Yeah." And then he has nothing to say. "Yeah, I thought so. It's not so fucking funny now." I would never ever dream of doing something like that in real life, but only in my mind. Love it. Or I thought of doing the opposite, actually getting a knife and starting to cut myself in front of him and seeing what his reaction is, just for shits and giggles. So it's silly. It's like I'm projecting my sort of self-evaluations on other people, so instead of me making them of myself, it's me thinking that other people are making them of myself, when I'm really just doing it to myself, if that makes really any sense. It's ironic too, because I know I'm doing it. I guess not exactly at the time. I know after, when I'm thinking about it and how stupid it was, and I think this and... But I don't even know if knowing about it is really helping the situation, which makes it even more irrational, I guess. I just have to get it through my head that I should stop doing this to people. I guess what also tends to happen to me is I think people don't like me when they do, or they're pissed off at me and no longer like me. And a good example of this is what happened again at work on the weekend. Co-worker friend's birthday party, right? And I didn't go to it. And I also didn't message her to tell her that I wasn't going to it, because I was too nervous to. Anyway, next day I went to work and I said hi and started serving customers.